What's going on out there, peeps? I'm not sure where this is, but it is awfully beautiful over there in Vietnam. By the way, it's gorgeous. These little temples and stuff like that. But anyways, okay. So let's get into this real quick. Just a quick reminder, because I am getting bombarded by PMs and posts on where to buy gold and silver here in the United States. Everybody, we have the moneymetals.com. I will leave a link in the description for all you first-time purchases there. If you buy more than $100 worth of precious metals, when you get to the promo code, put in Pimpy and you will get a free half ounce of silver. That's not too shabby. We have Pimpy's Investment Chat. It's the same name as the YouTube channel. In here we talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investment opportunities. So it's free to join, and the link is in the descriptions. So we also have here the hidden things in front of your eyes, and in here we talk about NESARA, GESARA, as well as current events, political things, and those things that most people might consider conspiracy. So let's get into Vietnam. Again, as usual, Vietnam is a little bit different than what's going on in Iraq. In here, we're looking for things that help strengthen the economy, because it does affect the currency, okay? Plus, for me personally, I am looking at short-term, long-term investment opportunities in both Iraq, the Middle East, and Vietnam. Both show some really strong potentials. For me in Vietnam, what I'm looking for all the time is real estate, because they have a lot of great real estate opportunities. Anyways, let's get into this. PVN gains 12.2 billion between January and June period. Okay. The Vietnam Oil and Gas Group, the PVN, recorded revenues of more than, well, let's go to the US dollars because that's the one that matters, 12.2 billion in the first half of the year, contributing to 32 trillion to the state, and that's Vietnam dong, by the way, a state budget. According to the general director of the PVN, Hung, despite the Rona outbreak, the group affiliated all maintain productions as normal. Productions in all units, including VSP, and I'm not going to try to pronounce a lot of these names of these companies, have completed and exceeded set targets. Now, keep in mind, remember when everybody in the world is dealing with the Rona, Vietnam did very great at just containing it. And unfortunately for them, they could have done a lot better, although they did very good. But they could have done a lot better. But unfortunately for them, the countries that they were dealing with all were dealing with the Rona, okay? The PVN and its affiliates have ensured stable liquidity, making an important contributions to production and development, okay? So, as usual, we find more and more companies, despite what's going on, are thriving there in Vietnam. As usual, I will leave a link to all the different articles so that you could come and check them out for yourself. But again, very impressive for Vietnam. There's a lot of great things like about them. Shrimp exports in the first 6 months up 5.7%. I wish it would send some of those bad boys to me. I love eating shrimp. HCM City, the first half of 2020 saw a 5.7% increase in shrimp exports year on year, reaching 1.5 billion US dollars, despite the Rona, according to the Vietnam Association of Seafood Exports and Producer. Now, I'm a huge shrimp fan, but again, I would imagine that during the Rona, making sure you get fed is really, really important. So, yeah, so I'm not surprised at this. June alone saw a 19.2% growth in exports, the highest growth rate since March. White Lake shrimps account for 70.1% of exports, and their export value rose by 11%. Meanwhile, the giant tiger shrimp, those are the big ones that I like. And I've seen videos on YouTube. They're called street food in Vietnam. When you watch the way they cook it, oh my goodness. Okay, so what is it? How does this affect the Vietnam dong? Well, obviously, the stronger the economy becomes in Vietnam, the more powerful their currency becomes, the more valuable it becomes. Now, what's going to happen that I think is going to happen in regards to the U.S. currency, yeah, we want Vietnam to continue to be strong. Now, they've been on our currency manipulation for our third time in a row. So I'm curious to see how this is all going to play out. But look, I'm anticipating, just like everybody else, a jump into Vietnam Dong. But again, as well, if I'm going to make money off my currency investments, especially the type I'm anticipating, then I'm thinking also long term. What can I invest in? And Vietnam seems to be a great place to consider. So the U.S. is Vietnam's biggest importer of shrimp, accounting for 21.2% of exports. Exports to the U.S. in the first 6 months rose by 29% compared to the same period last year at $323.3 million. Not too shabby. Vietnamese shrimp is more competitive in the U.S. than others supply countries because Vietnam was able to stabilize its production faster after the Rona. Again, they did a phenomenal job. I'm not sure what they did versus us or the rest of the world, but they did a great job. While exports and processors in countries like India and Ecuador are still affected by the lockdowns, yes, they are. I could tell you that for sure when it comes to Ecuador. Okay, and undersupplied by factory workers. So as the rest of the world continues to be in lockdown, Vietnam continues to thrive because of the lockdowns. Okay, so exports to China in June rose by 23% year on year. Major suppliers of shrimp to China have faced problems, leaving more room for Vietnamese exports. So again, yeah, you heard me say this a million times. Before I get into it, exports to EU in the first 6 months dropped just 7%. So here's the thing: what I'm telling people, those countries that, of course, border on the South China Sea are benefiting from what's going on as far as the trade war between the U.S. and China. In addition to that, that is all countries that are peeved about the little fancy export that China gave to the world, known as the Rona. So people are pulling their businesses out there. This is good. FDI to VN sees increase in July. So Vietnam attracted $3.15 billion worth of foreign direct investments. This is not surprising to me. Okay, we all know that a ton of companies are pulling out of China and coming into Vietnam. Remember, Vietnam is China's China. They send things there to be made, and they're shipped back to China, and then China replaces the made in and puts made in China on there. Okay? So the FDI and the capital for share purchases from July 1st through July 20th, representing a rise in 79.8% against the same period last year, 76.2% against in June. The latest updates of first of all, the capital for shares purchased from July 1st through July 20th, representing a rise in 79.8% against the same period last year. That's really phenomenal. And this is what I'm talking about as far as us paying attention to what's going on in Vietnam. This does affect their currency. This makes their economy very strong. In return, that makes their currency very strong. So I like to see these types of things. Okay, so, of the figures, 1.2 billion was registered to be poured into the 202 new projects, up 2.8% and 19.1% over June and the same period last year, respectively. Some 93 existing projects increased their registered capital by a total of 992 million, more than 2 times higher than the same month of 2019. So again, this is what I keep telling people. Look, man, you guys really need to be eyeballing what's going on in Vietnam, both short term and long term. This affects their currency, but it also is something that I'm looking into long term for me, because Vietnam as well as the Middle East both look like some great places for us to be eyeballing long term. Construction of wind farms worth 227 million began in Bac Lu, I guess is how you say that. The construction of 2 wind farms with a combined capacity of 100 megawatts began in Ho Binh district of the Mekong Delta province of Baccalieu on Sunday. So, okay, basically, there are these locations in Vietnam in which some wind power plants are being built. The wind power plants will be built with a total investment worth more than, well, let's go to US dollars, 227 million. They are expected to generate 400 million kilowatts annually, raking in excess of 800 billion per year. That's Vietnam dollars. Again, this is what we look for. These types of companies that are doing this. I've been eyeballing their real estate for tourist reasons because it allows U.S. foreign investors to come in and invest in that. In addition, which is a Venn Group and Venn Homes are probably the two best things to invest in over there in Vietnam. They've caught my attention for a long time. Also, that industrial park that they got going on is really, really super big. Okay, so yeah, Vietnam, again, is both my short-term and long-term. Short-term being, of course, the currency, and long-term is, of course, real estate for me in Vietnam. And you can see in the background, look at this, all the construction going on. And they've relaxed a lot of laws, and they relaxed a lot of restrictions that they had on foreign investors coming in and buying into real estate. So yeah, I'm feeling really good. Look at, there's cranes above this, cranes above it over here, cranes over there, and cranes here. That means there is a lot of development happening over in Vietnam. This is great for us who hold the Vietnam dong. The stronger the economy, the more valuable the currency. See how it works out? All right, so it's looking really good over in Vietnam. And, you know, I do read their news every day, but you guys don't need to hear this because I'm just going to tell you the same thing. There's always short and long-term investment opportunities. I don't want to bore you with that. So I will do Vietnam dong every now and then unless something major comes up. But I am impressed with them. I do like Vietnam a lot. It's a place that I want to go and visit. All right, you guys. So anyways, that is it with Vietnam and the Vietnam dong. And that is their economy continues to grow. This is why now, for the third time, they are on the currency manipulation list. It's just a matter of time before they have to increase the value of the Vietnam dong. So let's keep an eye on that, all right? All right, you guys, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later.